Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Marriage, Money, and Mindset. We're your hosts. I'm Jared.
And I'm Alexis.
And we are back. We are back. Episode 17, Marriage, Money, and Mindset. Hey guys, before we kick this episode off, we got a few announcements we want to make. Of course, thank y'all for watching the last episode we did. Keeping Up with the Joneses. That was episode 16 that we did. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you go back and check it out. Episode 16, that's what we shot. And so we are here now. We are here in Atlanta, Georgia. Me and Hershey.
Come on.
We got some special guests, as y'all can see. We are here with the Sonnys. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got Kris and Mauricio with Marriage Club. We are here doing an episode today on dealing with conflicts in marriages, okay? So before we start the episode, guys, we want to go ahead and introduce our guests, right? We have Kris and Mauricio Sonny. They are the founders of the Marriage Club, okay? It's a Facebook group also that has currently 1.9 members. 1.9 million members.
Yeah, of course.
1.9 million members, okay. They're also the authors of The Flying High in Your Marriage, the Marriage Club Playbook to Healthy Relationship. As you can see, advertised right here in the back. If you haven't got your copy, make sure you go out and get your copy, right?
Advertisement.
Okay. And they also host a variety of events such as the Marriage Club Escapes, Couples Retreats. That's actually where we met these guys, okay?
And plenty other things in Atlanta if you guys are in the Atlanta area.
Most definitely. So, and actually last night, guys, we had a great show that we did. Well, not show, but we did an event last night, the
Annual Christmas party.
The annual Christmas party.
At the Studio 55, which is the Sonny's event venue.
That's right. We had an awesome time with these guys. We love it. We love these people, guys. Like this. Like I say, y'all got to tap in, right? Okay, that's why we're here. We want to tap in, and we want y'all to tap in as well. So good. Like I say, just introduce yourselves real quick. Let the people know who y'all are. Who are the Sonnys? That's why we're here. We want to,
baby.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself.
I am Kris Sonny. This is my lovely husband.
I'm Sonny, and we are the founders of the Marriage Club, and it is an honor to be with you guys.
Hey, we appreciate y'all.
You ever met somebody and it seemed like, it was a godsend and like we've been knowing each other forever? These are my babies. They didn't ask to be.
Right.
I just pulled them in the wing.
Oh, yeah.
I said, I love what they're doing. I love their excitement. He was riding behind me today. I said, babe, he driving a Prius. I said, I know he was thinking about logistically how he could save money on gasoline.
There you go. Talk about it.
And he'd already done the numbers in his head. That's my baby right there. I said, and I'm driving this big old truck just making him shame. Shame.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've been loving Atlanta, man. We've been out here, like I say, we came out Friday. We here, this is, obviously, they were shooting. And, man, we love it in Atlanta. Atlanta, Georgia is nice. It's very lovely. Like I say, it feels like home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, guys, so we're going to get into today's episode. Again, it's dealing with conflicts in marriage. So we wanted to kick it off, with the Marriage Club, talk to them about, just get their perspective on dealing with, conflicts in marriages. Because, one of the things, obviously what we want to do is, keep marriages, together. Obviously there are some marriages out there that are struggling, potentially maybe struggling. So we're here today, with the Marriage Club. And we want to get their perspective on how we could potentially help with marriages that potentially may be struggling out there. So that's why we're here, guys. But again, before we dive in, we want to introduce the Sonnys. So just give us a, quick breakdown again on who the Sonnys are. If you, just who are the Sonnys?
What title would you give yourself?
Yeah.
We're the Marriage Fixers.
Okay.
We are the Marriage Fixers, and that isn't a title we take lightly, and that isn't even something that we chose for ourselves. I was actually out with some of our other babies, and they introduced us as that. Okay. And it just stuck. Like
that.
They started to say, hey, these two fix marriages. Mm-hmm. And it was humbling because we was just coming to watch their babies play softball or something like that. We just kind of hanging out. We're not, we don't run around with big stickers on or big cars and here, we do this, we do that. Right. And that was the introduction made. And then people started asking us questions, relational things. And we're in a Jeep community and they ask us relational things. And the big part of what we do is nurturing relationships and fielding relational type questions. We had a couple today that was just sitting behind us.
Right.
They're not married yet. They was like, you know what? We want to connect with y'all. We've been together for a year.
Yeah.
And I said, it's good to know the good and the bad. We're not going to force the issue, but we at least want you to be prepared if this is something that y'all really want to do.
Right.
Feel it.
And it's just kind of what we gravitated to. We started with about maybe 10 couples.
Okay.
My brother said it last night. He said it was 8 of us.
8 of us.
8. Oh, wow.
8 couples. I remember the first time we went out, I hated the restaurant.
Yeah.
And now we've gravitated to 1.9 million people
That's
connected
awesome.
to our group, leaning and gleaning on what some of the marriage tribulations and what some of the marriage successes look like.
Right. Love it.
Speaking of that, so I found you guys on Facebook on the Marriage Club.
Come on.
I didn't even know that you guys were the founders until a little bit later, but I was just drawn to the group. Everybody's giving positive advice towards marriage and different funny things that people can relate to in marriage. And then we found out about you guys with the Punta Cana trip.
Yeah.
Yes.
When we first met.
Right.
I love it.
So,
Awesome time.
what encouraged you guys to start the Marriage Club on Facebook, the group?
So like Sonny said, it definitely was a group of friends that we would hold each other accountable. It seemed like we were the couple that everybody came to for advice. And one day I was like, you know what? Because we would go on date nights, kind of like what we did this weekend. Hang out with each other, just are in each other's lives, period. And so one day I was like, this would be good for everybody. Let's open this up to the world.
Right.
And we opened it up, and it was something that was needed
Yeah,
because it grew like wildflowers.
Right.
And in the beginning, we were really even selective about who we let in. I could even imagine like where we would be if we let every single person at the time in, but it was just something that people needed, and so that's where it started from. Our hearts have always been for marriage, and as you can see, people really believe in marriage. Marriage is a necessity, and so that's where it started.
And for myself, the Marriage Club Escapes group is like a group of accountability partners.
Yes.
That's what I
Really?
was gonna say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, the accountability, like that's really what, like, even here, just kind of reuniting with the people that we met from the event as well, from the Marriage Club Escape in Punta Cana. That accountability, like, it's still intact. Like
We've grown to be a family.
right, yeah, it's almost like a reunion, Exactly.
And that's what's really, I feel like that's strong about what we do, because we encourage that. You know what I mean? We encourage y'all to link up, have somebody who you can kick it with, who can walk with you through this journey. So when y'all acting up, you got somebody to call.
That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my number's always open, and that's one of the things that I tell, and that's why I call them my babies. I'll kick it and everything, but there's still some reverence there because they say, hey, I'm like the Godfather.
Right.
And people know, even though we all on the same level, I'm still the Capone of this thing.
Sir.
So if something going down, you
Yeah,
call
Hefty.
Capone. You say, I got to get permission to kill this marriage, and I'm never going to give you permission.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Sir.
and kind of like the mobster. I was watching How to Be a Successful Mobster with my kid. Why am I watching that? Like this, and it talks about business and the logistics of being a mob boss and the type of leadership skills that you have
Okay.
to lead not just this organization, but any organization. And one of the things that I realize is that I have to stay in front of you guys. I have to encourage y'all and tell y'all, but I'm transparent.
Yeah.
I don't run around and carry myself like we got it going on all the time.
Gotcha.
Some of the challenges you guys face, we also face. And I think it's critical that people know that relationships are not always peaches and creams.
Right on.
Sometimes it's going to be lemons and salt. Sometimes you're going to have to go through some things. If you ain't ever give me 3 lemons and some salt, I'm going to eat that trash. It might be a little bitter, and I might have to
Right.
make some faces or something like that, but it's still nourishing.
Yeah.
Come on. So sometimes you have to go through those seasons
I got you.
in your relationship.
That comes with the territory, right? I mean, it does. That kind of leads us into this next question, right? Okay, so when we talk about that, you said the lemons and the salt. That's what you referred to it as. Okay, so let me ask you this: so, what would you say is the most common conflict you encounter while counseling couples, and what advice would you give them? Let me get some of that.
And I'm glad you asked that question because I prepared for this, right?
Let's go.
So I could be
Come
come here.
Yes, sir.
I was gonna say communication,
Love it.
and it is, but communication is so widespread. One of the things that we have to do is not just learn to communicate, but learn to be intentional about communicating our wants and desires, and also our troubled areas.
Okay.
I look at it like the SWOT analysis in a business: strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and troubles or trials or different things that you might, stuff that you might run into. What are we doing well? What do I really love about this relationship? If I could learn to communicate that, man, I'm saying some things because now I'm telling you, remember, what's celebrated is duplicated. Right. Why she say, oh, baby, oh, daddy, I love you, keep going. All of that stuff is because they're celebrating what they want to see duplicated. Especially, and men, we eat that up. Oh, man, yeah, baby, keep calling my name. Call me daddy. All this crazy stuff, that's what's celebrated is duplicated. That's the easiest example to help your viewers understand what's celebrated. My wife's looking at me like, oh, my God. But this, in the SWOT analysis, we understand what are our strengths, what are we doing well, and how can we build on those things. And then we have to say, what are our weaknesses?
Right.
And one of the big weaknesses and what I love about my babies and what y'all bring to the table is money.
Yes, sir.
Finances is a huge challenge in a relationship.
Agree.
Because we watch and we see, and what's popularized is the come up. Right. Mm-hmm. Everybody want to look like they got it going on, and I love that this brother who put out there how we running around with I'd rather have a plastic bag with $5,000 in it than a Coach bag with $10 in it, or a $5,000 bag with $10 in it. He was like, we are such a consumer based culture, right? And it's not just a black thing. It's those who have not had anything. Mm-hmm. Our strive is to look like we've got something, not actually get something.
Gotcha. Yeah.
We want to look like money instead of have it.
Right.
That's the thing. We actually talked about that in one of our previous episodes. 40% of marriages statistically fail due to financial reasons, and that is a big problem. And preferably probably with our community. You know what I'm saying?
Man, especially in the black community, our dollar lasts 6 hours.
That's true.
As soon as 6 hours is gone, we giving it to somebody else. Normally, in a lot of instances, especially in the middle to underclass areas, our money is gone. We get it on Friday,
and by
Monday,
it's gone.
Yeah, it's circulating somewhere else.
It's gone.
Right.
I'm talking about we hadn't made any investments,
nope.
So there's nothing that's gonna churn or bring that money back to us.
Right.
It's gone.
It's gone.
And it's a real challenge relationally if we're always in the struggle.
Right.
Now I'm all for, come on, Bible says whether you have plenty or you have little, learn to be content where you are. But at some point your contentment becomes bitterness.
Right.
At some point you've been broke so long that you start to look at this person and saying your brokeism. Come on, that's a word. Put that down. Tweet that. I'll create your brokeism is way too contagious.
Right. Yeah.
And way too contractual. I didn't sign up for this.
I got you.
I want more for my life.
Right.
And if you're not willing to learn how to shift relationally, it starts to create a separation.
It does.
And that's where the challenges come in.
Yeah. I agree. Definitely agree with that. Yeah, man, you hitting on it. That's literally why we, that's part of the reason why we started this channel. Marriage, money, and mindset, again, it's to, those 3 tiers is what we want to mainly focus on. And like mainly the money side of it, of course. I mean, that's where I'm pretty savvy at, of course. Money, believe it or not, is one of them things. Like everybody's playing that game, right? Whether they want to or not. Like it's life. You have to understand that you are playing the game. But the thing about it, the rules aren't given to us. We have to, unfortunately, learn the rules as we play. And so we want to be that source, guys. That's why we're doing this. That's part of the reason why we're doing this. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. The same thing with marriage. I mean, whenever we found the Marriage Club, that's a tool to help you in your marriage. Right. So we hope to be a tool to help you in your finances. And we have Kris and Sonny here who is going to be a tool to help in your marriage.
That's it. That's it. That kind of leads into this next question. You want to top them off with that one?
Okay, so sometimes couples struggle to find a work-life balance. So how do you guys recommend finding that balance?
Let's talk about it.
Good stuff.
Work-life balance.
Go ahead, Shorty.
Well, I think once again, it all starts with communication. I think there are seasons and times when you gotta go get it, and then you also have to be aware of where you are in your relationship. Right now, I need you to be my husband.
Right.
We don't need to be out here working. And I think when you establish those boundaries early, then it's very helpful for you guys to have that work-life balance. We work together all the time.
That's awesome.
And just creating different things, but there are times when we have to turn that off. And you have to know how important that is to spend that quality time with your spouse. If you're constantly giving to your business, then what are you giving to your marriage?
Exactly.
So you have to make sure that you are conscious of that. And then, like he said, when you have a need or desire, baby, I need more of your time. Like, we don't have to cut this off. You have to make sure you express that.
Assumptions. That can be a failure point.
Okay.
You're assuming that they know you need more time.
To communicate that.
Oh, you can't. To have expectations, failed expectations of unspoken expectations is not a failure. That's just miscommunication.
Okay.
Let me say that again. Failed expectations of unspoken requirements is not a failure. It's a lack of communication. You can't say, my baby's not spending enough time with me. All they do is work. When you haven't expressed to them, I need more time.
Right. And the way that you express it.
Oh, well, that's the communication point. You know, that's critical. But you've got to share your concerns. Don't just assume. Part of the challenge with assumption is that it's like California. If there's a wildfire and it's sparked from one flame, from a piece of glass in the middle of the field that just happened to catch the sun in the right direction, had somebody stepped on that fire or doused it with some water, half of the city wouldn't be on fire. Relationally, we're the same way. Our pride, these red bottoms, I ain't stepping on no fire. I'm gonna run around here and prance around like I'm too good to challenge or to even admit there's an issue. We want to pretend like we got it going on when in actuality, we really need some help.
Right.
And if we can't figure it out for ourselves, that's why we got these wonderful people around us. Man, there's always somebody who's willing to help
Right.
if you're willing to ask for it.
Right.
That's right.
And in today's time, I mean, YouTube is available. You have so many online resources. You don't have to be face to face. Like, if we needed counseling, we can do virtual counseling with you guys.
All day. Zoom, Google Meets. We even got us an iPad now. Lord, forgive me, Jesus. You told me not to eat the apple, but I done messed around and took a bite of the apple. So we could be FaceTiming if we had to. And the reality is this, hey, get it.
Right.
One of the reasons why marriages don't last, another reason is because people lazy. You lazy.
Yeah, I heard you talk about that before.
Come on, that's the root of it. You lazy.
Yeah.
Come on, think about it for a minute. If all I've got to do is apply myself, get up and put application into what's necessary for my marriage, and that's the only thing keeping it from winning, what's the root of the issue? My lack of ability. Faith without works is what?
It's dead, baby. Yeah.
Come on, think about it.
Okay.
So if you're not putting in the work,
It's work, right? Most
so
definitely.
the workplace balance comes in date nights.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Intentional breakaways from the rigmarole of everything that's going on. We don't move without having our date nights on Monday. And if we do, we got to get permission first.
There you go.
Last week we had no date night. Our date was making sure y'all was squared away when y'all got here.
yeah.
Making sure this venue was on top like it was supposed to be. So we gave us a pass because I know that she was going to be in that room filling it up with different things. And we had 2 other clients that we were working on trying to restore some of the rooms in their house. So we didn't have time to commit to that. But we knew that on that weekend we was going to at least kick it.
There you go.
We was going to at least dance dance, so we balance it out. We know that our love bank is not going to be on insufficient funds.
Right.
Come on, because a love bank is a critical bank as well. If you can't build just your portfolio and not build your love bank.
Right on.
That needs to be one of the key components of your portfolio. Come on, that's one thing. The money makeover is going to have to make sure that when you're constructing portfolios for people, one of the top lines is their spiritual bank and their love bank.
I got that. Oh yeah.
Because when you got insufficient funds in either of those areas,
Running on fumes.
Yeah.
come on. That's new. This is the first time anybody's heard that. That's for y'all.
I like that.
Y'all better put that in the book.
I like that. I really do. Okay. Yeah, most definitely. Look, okay. So we talking about compromise. Sound like that's kind of what you touched on. Like if we can't, if we have to,
Move date night.
That's a compromise, obviously. That's communicated prior to. Okay. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how, some relationships are in today, we're in a world now where things aren't necessarily, what would you call it? Like the traditional, exactly. Right. Non-traditional, traditional ways of marriages. So let's talk about that real quick. Like, let's touch on, if you do, or what do you find frustrating with today's view in marriage by the majority? That's what I want to hit on real quick. I see you over there shaking that head, Miss Kris.
I'm shaking my head because right now it's
Let's
a
talk about
lot of women against men, period. It's just like, I don't know what it is. I mean, I get it. Everybody's soft energy and this energy and the masculine, great. But how about y'all come together? Right.
We've lost our backbone in this new woke society.
Talk about
we become not just soft, because soft is okay. I'm a man who cries and I'll fight. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
Pick your poison. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't mind us having a more caressful and intimate mentality as men and women, but I think one of the challenges is that we've kind of found ourselves in everything's a gray area, but nothing's a gray area. How do you make sense of that? How does it work to where we've got to be overly concerned about what we say, but then we can say whatever we want to say?
Right.
You can't have it both ways. We can't just kind of open the floodgates and say, "Oh, this is too much water. Close them." At the same time, there's no, we don't find any relevancy when we say anything's accessible. Do whatever you like. Live however you want. And then we say, "Oh my goodness, you're living however you want. You're doing whatever you want. You're saying whatever you want." You can't have it both ways.
Right.
And I think one of the main challenges we see is that people want to challenge everything. I got to focus. I'm not going to run around here. There was a guy standing on the street with a big sign that says, "Divorced people getting married going to hell." I said, "Brother, you going to hell.
Uh-oh.
Because you don't read your Bible."
Yeah.
Who is Ruth?
Right.
Ruth lost her husband. He died. Ruth is one of the key pieces that people run to talk about marriage. What did Ruth do? She got a new husband. Boaz.
Yeah.
She got rid of... No, y'all don't get me started. Y'all know how that saying go. Get rid of that and find you a Boaz.
Right.
So, she didn't go to hell. She was one of the few acclaimed women in the Bible.
Right.
One of the statements she made is, "Where you go, I'll go. Your family will be my family. Bid nothing to separate us."
Right.
Ooh, she one of the coldest writers to ever do it. And we running around here trying to box in what God's perspective on that. There's some theological things that we could focus on, but a lot of that is divisive.
Right.
A lot of that is divisive. Everybody wants to jump on the stanza of marriage unapologetically,
Right.
without question. My focus is on traditional marriage.
Gotcha.
It's on my page. It's everywhere you look. Why? Because that's what God called us to.
Right.
Am I arguing for or against anybody else? Nope. Because that's what that is. Divisive and a waste of time. I got too much to do. I'm like the guy up on the wall. What was his name in the Bible? Come on. He says, "I can't come down. I'm working on something. I'm building the wall. I can't focus on what y'all doing down there." I've got to focus on what God called me to. There's so many different things that are focused on everything else. But I realized at some point, and we realized that traditional marriage was taking a hit because people had been bitter and hurt. Other type of marriages have been hurt. People who live a certain lifestyle, they say, okay, we're going to get y'all. We're gonna write this in and make everything traditionally look a mess in total disarray. We're going to clown y'all, which is what TV started to do a lot. Yeah. You see a lot of marriages getting torn up and going separate ways and all of these different things. And what society started to see marriage as was a failed entity as it related to traditional marriage. So we decided, by His grace, that we're going to step in and give these folks a bit of hope. It snowballed. And now we got millions of people believing again that marriage, that we could do this. Me and her, we can make something amazing.
Oh, yeah. Like that.
And we see that a lot in you guys' book. So speaking of the book, it's called Flying High in Your Marriage. Okay, chapter 1, you guys kind of hit on that already. But one of the quotes from chapter 1 says, every marriage has a purpose. You have to figure out your marriage's purpose. So my perspective of that is starting with the end in mind. So like you said,
Say
it's
that again
not
for the people in the back.
Yeah, start with the end in mind.
I like that.
So it's not about the wedding. It's more about the marriage. You have to put focus on the marriage. What's the purpose of your marriage? Are you just doing it for kicks and giggles, or is there a foundation set?
And she pegged that, so you can kind of dig a little deeper into that, baby.
The thing about it is, when you understand what your purpose is, then you know, it's not easy for people to tear up your home. It's not easy for you guys to be divided. It's easier for you guys to work together. So you guys are doing marriage mindset and
marriage money
mindset. I had to get all the M's, huh? Okay, but that, you know, that's a part of your purpose. Now you know, hey, this is what we're doing, and when you stay focused on that, then you can accomplish your goals together as a couple. So it's very important for you to know that.
And it keeps you from doing frivolous things.
Right.
The more you grow in your purpose, you're not gonna go out. He's not gonna ride around in a car that's not gonna save him money. I was like, that boy that be on it. How do you even get a Prius from a rental place? That boy be on it. I said, babe, look at him. And I know he's looked there like, hold on now, I'm doing the math. This is a lot of traveling. Hold on, if I get a hybrid, and I ain't got to put nothing but maybe 3 gallons, and then I don't have to fill it up when I take it back. Give me that one. How do you even know to ask for a Prius? That's the best, most economically, and it looks good. And he got it in black.
Yes, we did.
I was like, how do you map that out? So it causes you to say, hey, on your next show, look, and this is one of them. I got a Prius. Y'all riding around, you want to ride big, but I'm riding economically big.
Delayed gratification.
Come on. And it's not even delayed, because it does everything that the other car does. It costs you less.
Exactly.
That's brilliant.
I say delayed because we still have desires of achieving or attaining things that we want to attain that cost more or that don't make a lot of financial sense. But right now, we're staying focused on what the goal is, and everything has to align with that goal.
And that's where it falls into line with your purpose, a purpose-driven life. Come on, y'all read the book. And it just talks about how, because I realize that this is my purpose, then my steps have to be aligned with that said purpose. With us, it's the same way. We can't fall off. We can't be on the dumb stuff because we realize that our purpose is bigger than us. Even when we're having issues, we got to come together and resolve these things, because if we fall off, then somebody else might fall off. We got to, and that's a big commitment to have, but we understand and recognize that this is what God has called us to. So we meet our challenges and go above and beyond to help other people.
Okay.
Right.
And that's another chapter that's in the book that we really liked, was the Turbulence chapter.
Love those analogies, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Taking a flight.
So we're not going to give away too much. You guys just need to buy the book. But one chapter in the book is talking about turbulence. So we're here talking about the challenges in your marriage or dealing with conflict in your marriage. So the chapter on turbulence is basically like it comes unexpected, but if you keep on pushing forward, then eventually you're gonna get past those clouds and it'll just be smooth sailing.
Good stuff, girl. You better know how to
Beautiful once you get
summarize
past those
our chapter. And I think
Like,
turbulence
wait.
is there to give you
Oh,
a
yeah.
reminder that it ain't always going to be easy.
Right.
That's right.
There's beauty in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, most
We've
definitely.
grown closer through conflict.
Right.
Well, people say pressure busts pipes, but pressure also makes diamonds.
That's true. There you go.
Pressure makes diamonds.
Right.
So if there's no pressure, if you don't go through anything, then you don't know your full pedigree. The reason why I know that in a lot of fights I'm going to win, because I've been in a lot of fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand what it's like to be strategic, to take blows.
Right.
I was sitting in a training one time, and this was fun training, and everybody sitting there. It's like a SSGT, kind of a tactical training that they do at one of my jobs. And they call us all in a room, and it's like, okay. And my lieutenant says, this is a funny question for Sonny, but for everybody else, how many of y'all have been in a fight? And there was maybe like 2 hands raised in the room. And these are people who are supposed to be fighting to keep other people safe. And they'd only been in 0 fights in their whole life, short of training.
Right.
And it was scary because in your fight or flight mentality, if you don't know what to do, you're kind of left out there. Relationally, it's the same way.
That's it.
Folks that ain't never been through nothing,
It's true.
you can't tell me how to get through nothing.
Right.
It's true.
So
No, I
our
believe that.
purpose, come
Yeah.
on, the conflict is not just for you.
Right.
Right.
Because if you keep it all to yourself, then what's the purpose of it? It doesn't serve any real purpose. You go through these things. The Bible says on the flight of our testimonies,
Right.
do people get closer to Him? Ooh,
I believe it.
Ooh, come
We've
here.
experienced it. No, we have. Yeah, I agree. I love that. I love that. I love that.
Ah,
Yeah. I mean, look, that's the thing. You know, you got to take the good, the bad, the ugly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, marriage in itself isn't always going to be, like you said earlier, peaches and cream. I heard somebody say peaches and cream. That was you? It's going to be a little salty at times. But that's part of the process. You know what I'm
We're
saying?
constantly growing and changing.
Right.
So,
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes you got to take that, you know what I'm saying? But it makes that bond that much stronger. At least it has for us. I know it definitely has. I can attest to that. You know.
stuff.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, so look, let's talk about the last thing we want to ask y'all guys, right? Before we close this off. So, what types of things can you do to maintain a healthy and fulfilling relationship with your partner? Let's talk about that before we sign off. What type of things can you do to maintain a healthy relationship?
I think we've talked about it a lot.
yes.
Communication, date nights are important. Having accountability partners, having people to walk with you through this journey. You know, nowadays people have so much pride, they don't want help.
That's true.
Man, if you need help, get help. Please don't just let your marriage die. So, you know, being intentional about building something that matters. How about that part? Date nights once again, and making sure you keep that open communication.
come on. I love that. You know, I've been on the C's, you know, the 5 C's: communication, commitment, connection,
Okay.
challenges, and change. Because all of these things are critical pieces of the puzzle. Communication, you got to talk about it. Commitment, every day is a choice to be committed to your relationship. If you fall off, it's by choice.
Right. That's one thing, not to cut you off, that's
Go
one thing I
ahead.
always say, there's a chance. Every day you have a chance and a choice.
Right.
Yeah, come on.
Talk about it.
And now, then there is challenges. You're going to face those. You know what's an accident is where you get caught up in a situation where you didn't know it was about to happen. A sheep is only taken when the wolf can get through the gate, right? But when the shepherd, come on. So that's why we, as men, as kings of our own territory, we have to be shepherds of our plantation and make sure that we're guarding over and preparing for those situations. Well, you said that's easy. Would no man run up on my, but it's not the men. Sometimes it's that woman in the red dress who's caught your eye And now she's caught your subconscious, and now you thinking about having a conversation with somebody that could lead into something that could crush and pretty much demolish your marriage. The wolf wasn't wearing wolf's clothing.
And your purpose.
Ooh, come on, y'all. So we have to meet those challenges. We have to make that commitment, and then we also have to be ready to change. What do you mean by that? How long y'all been married?
Going on 6 years.
6 years. 6 years ago, were y'all the same people you are now?
Not at all.
You see these? You see these gray hairs?
I see it.
What if
Talk
she didn't like a
about
man with gray hair? Now we have to face that challenge and then be adaptable to the change. She ain't never said she don't like a man, because I could get that just for me. You feel me? I mean, we can work it out, but at the same time, we realize that there is change that's happening every day, whether we like it or not. We don't have the same physique. We don't have the same moves. We don't have the same tastes. Right. What I used to love, I don't love no more. What I used to desire, I don't desire anymore. So I have to be willing to adapt. Her desires have shifted. She wants top shelf. So I got to be ready to go grind and get that top shelf.
Talk about it.
Can I get an amen?
Yes, sir.
So, we have to be willing to adapt. The word you said was compromise, but not even compromise, but I like compliment better.
I like that too. Yes, sir.
Ooh,
Talk
come
about
here.
it.
Ooh. So if I can compliment her dreams and desires,
Right.
and she can compliment mine,
Well, you better say something on here.
then we moving in the right direction.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Okay, we're not going to give away all of the gems. You guys just have to follow them for yourselves. Get this book, Flying High in Your Marriage.
Yes,
Follow
yes,
the
yes.
Marriage Club on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere else.
Yeah. Let us know where we can find y'all guys.
We on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube.
Okay.
We all there. So our primary source is Instagram and Facebook. Facebook is the biggest group. We're actually shifting some more because we want to reach a lot of the different areas. So we're doing a lot more with the Instagram page as well so we can expose it to people, because people go on there, they looking for us.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
They hear about it because of the Facebook Marriage Club is so huge,
Right.
but we haven't done as much. So we've been intentional in this season, and we're even coming out with some different training programs and some different things like that, so that people who are not connected like you are can still be connected.
Okay.
So that's on themarriageclub.org. So everything will be out there, and
Let's go.
themarriageclub.org or themarriagefixers.com, which we haven't even broached just yet, but I'm telling this to y'all before I tell it to anybody else. So it won't be nothing up there yet, but in a very short period of time, you guys will be able to see some of what God has called us to.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Well, we appreciate you guys' time. It's always a pleasure being in y'all's presence. We always learn. Anything you want to say?
Hey man, look, y'all need to follow these guys, right?
Thank you.
We love them. They're like I say, like Miss Kris said earlier, we all family in here now. The next event coming up is going to be in February. We still have availability, yes or no? Yes.
We're
yes.
gonna open it up for maybe like the next day or so, because
Right,
Okay.
I got like 3 text messages.
Guys.
Literally, I had to turn my trash off.
Okay.
They want to go,
Our
so
travel agent, y'all.
we gotta
So y'all
actually
for real about it.
we make some stuff happen. So the
Look.
next few days we're gonna have it open so that people can
Right.
jump on this trip. You just have to gotta
Okay.
buy it out. We
Okay.
used to have
So
the
they can
payment
go
plans.
to
but-
themarriageclubescapes.com.
Yeah,
MarriageClubEscapes.com.
marriageclubescapes.com, and you can get you a spot on this amazing trip. And people just saw how we vibed last night.
Right.
Listen to me, y'all. We didn't even say nothing about the trip. I don't even know how they heard about it. We were so focused on being intentional about celebrating relationships last night that we weren't doing any marketing for anything. This was just a time for us to let our hair down.
Right.
And like I said, like the Matrix, we gonna go out here and have us a party
Yes, sir.
just for married couples in a beautiful and safe place. And then people started seeing how the Escapes crew vibed.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And listening to some of the stories we told at the table.
We gonna mark
And they was like, one of the brothers said, we were going to the cabins, but I want no parts of that. Instead, I'm coming with y'all. Figure out a way to get me on this trip.
Right.
I don't even know this guy's name.
Yeah.
Man.
Do you hear me? But the gravity of what we possess and
Right.
what and the weight of what is on us. I call it the sauce.
There you go.
You
got the
want to be
sauce.
connected to the sauce. So get connected, plug in, make the investment into your relationship.
That's it, guys. That's what we're talking about. That organic growth. We love it, man. Again, guys, thank y'all so much for being a part of the Marriage, Money, and
You guys,
Mindset.
we are so excited.
That's right. That's
Y'all on
right.
our set today.
There you go. There you
Ain't
go.
nobody even seen this yet.
Yeah.
We hadn't even unveiled this set.
Oh, yeah?
This is where we're doing our teachings and
Love it.
training.
Love it.
We've already started our podcast sessions, and we unveiling that next year. So you guys
Nice.
get to be a part of it before anybody else.
Love
That
it.
VIP. I love it. Well, hey, guys, we appreciate y'all for tuning in again. Thank y'all for tuning in to Marriage, Money, and Mindset. We will be back next week. Until then, y'all take care and be good.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.